the lectures the same way as we were having from last 2 days, 4 lectures in a day starting from now. So the first lecture that we have is of Dr. Ramesh Devrath. Dr. Ramesh Devrath is a marketing expert and is a tourism expert anyways. Sir will be sharing his topic on special interest tourism. So this is the topic for today, which will be shared by Dr. Ramesh Devrath. Students, I'll announce it again. We'll disable your chat as of now. We'll send you an attendance link as well as a feedback link. Please fill up both. But till the last 10 minutes, with the last 10 minutes, we'll open the chat box again so as you can ask your question. Dr. Ramesh, we'll answer any 5 as per your convenience, as per time convenience. We'll answer 5 questions out of the questions that students will ask. In case if you want, in case of time permits, you can answer more than 5 questions also. Over to you, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot, Ranu.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
This is, I guess it's afternoon now. It's 12 noon.
Afternoon now.
So good noon to all of the students, especially all BBA and MBA students, the new aspirants, the newly admitted students. As Ranu had already told, my name is Dr. Ramesh Devrath, and the topic for today's discussion, or what we would be discussing today, is we'll have a word related to special interest tourism. And to start with, I was just having a word with Ranu also that what has been taught to you in the last 2 days, we were discussing also. I had listened to almost a few of the lectures also, and that was an impression being given to you about tourism. Yesterday, Sandeep sir had talked about rural tourism. Barua sir has given you a very clear idea about the tourism industry of the country. So in that scenario, and continuing that only, today we'll be discussing about special interest tourism. Now, what exactly is special interest tourism? As the photograph on your screen, you can see, there are some bricks actually. And now, this won't be a tourist spot for a lot of people. For a lot of people, these are bricks. Probably they don't know how old they are or what exactly their archaeological value is or whatsoever it is. And for some people, they are might of a very important thing, or for some people, these bricks might be very much important, or these bricks contain important archaeological value for them. So the thing is, that's what the topic is all about. We're going to understand the special interest tourism. Not everybody is interested in everything actually. And if we talk about tourism also, tourism is again the same thing, my dear friends. Tourism has a very big scope. It's a wide scope. I'll just be switching off my camera so that the screen which is sidely popping up, which will move off. So now the thing is, if we talk about tourism, especially, and just a second, let me start. Yeah, now it's there. So if we talk about tourism, especially if we want to understand about tourism, and from last few days, you all people are understanding about tourism. I had written a word tourism, and before that I had given you a blank space. Now the thing is, this blank is your choice actually. This is what is your choices. You can write anything here, and whatsoever you write here, that is what tourism for people. And that, my dear friends, remember that whatsoever you'll write here won't be of special interest for all the people, but for somebody it would be a special interest. Say for example, I'll give you a few examples. Say for example, I write here kite. So you have kite tourism. Not everybody would be interested in kite, but it is a special interest tourism. It is basically would be of a special interest for a lot of people. Say for example, I write here rural. I write here agriculture, agri or agro. Probably I write here pilgrimage. Not everybody is interested in god, goddesses or pilgrimage. Not everybody, especially as a tourist. You write here education tourism. You write here film tourism. You write here photography. So everything is tourism. Tourism is having a very wide scope. You think of a bird, you write at the blank, and that is tourism, and that is for sure tourism, and probably that would be an interest for any of the person in there. You write here medical, there is a medical tourism. You write here bike, there's a bike tourism. You write here business, there's business tourism. You write here eco, you have ecotourism. You write here beach, there's beach tourism. You write here jungle, there's jungle tourism or wildlife. You write here nature, we have nature tourism. Some negative also, you write here drugs, which is very famous nowadays on news channel. You have drug tourism, prostitution tourism. You write here border, Indo-Pakistan border tourism or frontline tourism. It's very famous. You write here camping tourism. That's what I'm saying, my dear friends. Tourism has got a wide scope. And every person, whosoever is listening to me, probably I'll just check it out. There are 238 students right now who are enrolled here over there. And all of you, my dear friends, 239 students, or any person, even including Ranu ma'am also, everyone have his choice. Every person has or they have something known as their hobby. Film tourism, people love to go to those places where important film shootings has been done or conducted. So this is again very much important for a lot of people. Film tourism is again a big thing. So every person has a particular hobby, they have a particular interest. So the topic for today's discussion is that tourism has a wide scope. Tourism is big. As far as things are concerned, tourism has a very wide scope, and not everything is of interest or a special interest for everyone. Likewise, it's a general saying, one person food could be another person's poison also. There is in medicine which suits me won't be suitable to other person, because there are some people who say we love to go to Leh and Ladakh, we wanted to visit Leh, and there would probably be some people, they say, oh, I'm having some breathing problem when I go to a higher altitude. I don't want to go to a higher altitude, and especially at a level of 10,000 feet or 12,000 feet. So the thing is, one person food could be other person poison also, and that's what I'm saying. This photograph is of Lothal, which is near Ahmedabad in Gujarat. Lothal, which is an Indus Valley civilization site. So not everybody is interested in these breaks. Probably some people would be very much interested in the drainage system, the local people having, as you can see in this picture, their bathrooms are there, these are their bathrooms, and these are the kitchens and all. So the concern is not everybody is interested in everything. And you people, you have your own interest, and your interest is in, probably your interest is in photography. You're young, probably you will be interested in photography. Probably your interest is in bike. That could be there. So there are a lot of things around the country, around the world, if I'll say, there are a lot of things around the world. People from India, there are a lot of people who visit to a particular country to visit Northern Lights. Now, not everybody would be knowing about what is a Northern Light. Not everybody would be understanding also. लोगों को पता भी नहीं होगा, बहुत सारे लोगों को ये word ही पहली बार सुना होगा. And probably some people can, out of this group only, some people can give a lecture on Northern Lights, or they can speak on Northern Lights for around 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes also. And somebody would not be knowing what exactly is a Northern Light. So the thing is, that is a special interest. And your interest, whatsoever your interest is, you are at IITTM and you are in tourism. And as I already told you, tourism के पहले हमेशा एक बहुत बड़ा blank है, और वो blank को fill करना is your job. That is there. There's always a blank in front of tourism, और वो जो blank है, you have to write your choice here, and then you have to write tourism. And that is, my dear friends, your life gonna change in coming years when you will understand about tourism, when you learn about tourism, and whatsoever the interest is. Tourism is such a field. आपका जो interest है, आप उसमें expert बन सकते हैं. जो भी interest है, as I said you, आप जो भी चीज यहाँ लिखेंगे, मैंने आपको बहुत सारे example दे दिए हैं. I'll give you your probably मैं आपको एक और word लिख के देता हूँ. I'll just write hitchhiking. Say for example, hitchhiking. So now hitchhiking tourism is there. Hitchhiking is basically people take lift and they visit the places. अभी एक लड़की ने record बनाया recently. A girl has visited almost from 27 countries of the world by taking lifts from people. she comes on the highways, on the roads. अगर सिटी में है तो लिफ्ट लेके हाईवे तक चली जाती है, हाईवे से दूसरे लोगों से लिफ्ट लेके दूसरी कंट्रीज में आते हैं. The thing is that doesn't mean that people doesn't have money, my dear friends. The thing is they wanted to explore the world by meeting to the people, and they make it sure that we'll only travel by hitchhiking. So this is a special interest. Probably आप में से बहुत सारे लोगों का इंटरेस्ट होगा या अब जाग जाएगा इंटरेस्ट. Yeah, this is a good thing. We can go for hitchhiking tours. We can go with my friends. We'll have a plan and we'll go by hitchhiking. So that's what I'm saying. This is your destiny, and you have to write the word here. And there's a fill in the blank. You write. Likewise, nowadays a lot of people are going for begging tourism. Begging tourism. Begging tourism means they go to a particular city. Likewise, in India, in Delhi, you go to Connaught Place, you'll find a lot of foreign tourists. They are there. They have their guitars in their hand, and they sing a song, and they'll collect some money, and by that money they'll have their food, they'll pay for the hotels also, they pay for the homestays also, and then they collect some money. They collect enough money for to fund their transportation, or the air ticket, or the train ticket, or the bus ticket, and then they travel to another destination. They'll be there for, in that destination. They again do some begging and all, and then they move forward. That doesn't mean that they doesn't have deep pockets or they doesn't have money in their pockets, but that is the style of tourism people want to do. That is the style of tourism people are interested in, and that is what every person could have his own or interest. People go for dhaba tourism. People go for tea tourism. They only visit a particular place to taste the teas, or to the coffee also. That's what I'm saying. You write anything in this blank, and that is tourism. And if somebody says कि नहीं आपने ये गलत लिख दिया, ये tourism नहीं होता है, so that is an opportunity for you to create that thing into tourism activity. And that is what a lot of companies in the world are preparing unique itineraries. And that is what is a unique itinerary. आपके लिए तो अच्छा है. अगर कोई इवन इन क्लास ऑल्सो इफ यू आर इंटरेक्टिंग विद मी और मैं क्लास में आऊँ और आप बोलें कि सर ब्रेन टूरिज्म कुछ होता है, मैं बोलूँ नहीं यार ब्रेन टूरिज्म कुछ नहीं होता, तुमने गलत लिख दिया. ब्रेन टूरिज्म कैसे हो सकता है? बट दैट इज एन यूनिक थिंग, एंड दैट इज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर यू टू प्रूव मी रॉन्ग, एंड दैट इज देयर. एंड फॉर योर काइंड इन्फॉर्मेशन, वी हैव अ ब्रेन म्यूजियम इन बैंगलोर में है ब्रेन म्यूजियम है. जिन लोगों के ब्रेन देखने में मजा आता है, the people visit that particular place in Bangalore, which is run by Government of India. Government of India का organization है, और वो brain museum है. You have a brain museum in Bangalore. You write here black magic. You have a black magic museum in India also. बहुत सारी जगह हैं जो black magic के लिए famous है, जादू टोने के लिए famous है, भूतों के लिए famous है. There are a lot of places in India which are famous for ghosts, and we call them a ghost tourism sites or a ghost destinations also. So the thing is, my dear friends, what I'm telling you and what I'm trying to say you is, you are in a very unique field. You're in very, you had opted for such a career option where you can, according to your choice, according to your hobby, according to your interest, you can make your career. And that is what important, and that is what my topic is. What I want to make you people understand is special interest tourism. This is what we're going to discuss, and this is what we're going to learn and understand in the coming few minutes, whatever the time I'm being allotted. So this is what we're going to in few minutes. What is special interest tourism? Now if we talk about definition, though I won't be going much into anything, हम सिर्फ बहुत अच्छी बातें पढ़ेंगे. Just for to sake of defining it, I'm just defining it for you. Special interest tourism can be defined according to the UNWTO, that's the United Nations World Tourism Organization. They have their headquarters in Madrid, Spain. UNWTO is, for your information, it is in Spain, and to be very specific, it's in Madrid. And what they defined as far as special interest tourism is concerned is in specialized tourism that involved individual or group tours by those people who wishes to develop their given interest or visit sites and places. They have their interest or visit sites and places that has a relation or connection with their specific interest or subject. So every person have its own specific interest. You all people listening to me, you all have a specific interest. You all people definitely have a specific interest. You just need to find out that particular specific interest. And if you travel for that particular specific interest, you are special interest tourist then. So in simple word, a person who is traveling to a particular place, say for example, I personally, I love photography. So I travel to a lot of places only with my camera to photograph a lot of things. So my specific interest or my subject is different. So I travel to destination, I travel to place, and especially say for example, there would be some people who love wildlife photography, so they'll always be going to wildlife or they'll always be visiting jungle. Probably some person would be loving the nature photography, they'll be going to natural place, not to the wildlife place. ये सबका इंटरेस्ट है. कोई स्ट्रीट फोटोग्राफी में बहुत स्मार्ट होता है, कोई फूड फोटोग्राफी करता है, गैस्ट्रोनॉमी है, फोटोग्राफी के भी बहुत सारे अलग अलग एस्पेक्ट्स होते हैं, एंड पीपल डू दैट. So according to UNWTO, specific interest यही है. Now if we'll go only in bit of history, ये क्या है जो दूसरे टूरिस्ट हैं. Now I had told you there are two types. One is special interest tourists. वो लोग हैं जिनका the people they have a very specific interest, the people who have a very special interest as far as tourism is concerned. And there are other tourists also. Other tourists means they are the generalized tourists who are at a particular place, who are at a particular city or a destination or a country, and they say we doesn't have a specific interest, but whatsoever the tourist interest places in the city, we're gonna see all those things. And they are there, the other tourists are there, they have a desire to experience. And special interest tourist is a participant. That is the only difference. Special interest tourists are participating in that particular thing, and they are just experiencing a thing. Experiencing a thing means you visit Taj Mahal. What you'll do, you would be experiencing Taj Mahal, the aura, the building and everything. Probably somebody is interested, he's visiting Taj Mahal, but he loves photography. So he is very much a participant into that, and he's much involved in his photography rather than anything. Probably another person is visiting Taj Mahal, but he's very much into, he loves architecture. So what he's doing, he is a participant to that. Even in rural tourism also, you visit a village. So a lot of people, they'll visit, a normal tourist will visit to have an experience of a village. But other tourists, as a special interest tourist, you will be participating in the activities in the village, probably milking the cows. You'll be there, you'll be milking the cows, you'll be helping, or you will be seeing the agriculture activities which are being done, or you'll be involving yourself in irrigation system, or you'll be understanding about the irrigation system in village. So that means you are a participant. And that is the important thing, my dear friends. Now, as we had already discussed about the definition according to UNWTO, this definition was given way back in 1985, my dear friends. Now, as far as an old concept is concerned, in 1980s and 1990s, special interest tourism emerged in these years at the same time as an ecotourism and sustainable tourism. Originally, it was there for ecotourism. People started going for ecotourism. That means they started going for jungle, and those people are known as that these are the people with special interest tourists, because they are going for ecotourism or sustainable tourism. But now things has changed, and since a last decade, things has drastically changed, and there is a transformative travel. In the past decade, special interest tourism, it has got a transformative travel, has focused on hard or specialized activities that require physical efforts, such as adventure tourism, ecotourism for that matter, rural tourism, sports tourism, gastronomy tourism, cultural tourism, craft tourism, shopping tourism, literature festivals. People are going for art galleries. People who love art, they'll go to visit different art galleries, and they visit the art galleries, or probably they purchase some artwork. A lot of people who are only interested in handicraft items, a lot of people who are only interested in textile tours. So the thing is, and even festivals also, the people, there would be a lot of people who will be visiting a lot of places when they'll only be interested in going for festivals tours only. So the concept is, or the connection is, since a decade, the thing has changed. And why it has changed, my dear friends? Because the new age tourist, because of the new age tourist. Now, what is a new age tourist? You all people are new age tourists, the millennial kids, actually, the people who are born after the 2000, the new age tourist, the young tourist who have an age, who are between age to 18 to 35 age के जो लोग हैं, जो after 2000 भी पैदा हुए हैं, जो millennial है, जो young हैं, जो new age tourist हैं. Now these tourists, they are drifting from mass tourism to special interest tourism. Now, these are the new issues. You all people, you are drifting from mass tourism to special interest tourism. And this is a new thing which is there. And if we talk about as far as business is concerned, how these things helps the business people also, and how the tourism business also, how SIT helps tourism businesses also. Because of SIT, nowadays tourism company can provide wider choices for tourism to creative itineraries. Nowadays people or the companies, they wanted to recruit you all young people, and you young people can make creative itineraries. Now this creativity is leading to more business. This creativity is leading to more business, and this is how SIT helps the tourism business. And this is how the SIT helps, that the creative itineraries are being prepared, and these creative itineraries are being prepared by you all young professionals. You have good ideas, you have different ideas. I'll be sharing with you some of the unique itineraries, also some of the unique things also. Likewise, some of our students, they had started with a new concept or called stargazing tourism. They are making people travel from Delhi on bike to Leh, और ले में वहां पे रात को ले जाके उनको तारे दिखाते हैं. And my dear friends, look at the concept. This is a special interest tourist, and they are full of people, they are full of inquiries, they are full of tourists who wanted to travel from Delhi to Leh by bike, and वहां जाके क्या करेंगे? They wanted to gaze the star, और रात को वहां पे रुकेंगे. They'll be putting up in their tents and they'll be gazing the stars. Now this is how it's easy to find target groups and bring like-minded people together. Likewise, you know that in probably in whichever the cities you belong, if you love bike, if you have a bullet bike or an super bike with you, so a lot of people, you have a bike riders clubs are there. So like-minded people are there, like-minded people, they are collected, and these like-minded peoples, they are there, and to these like-minded people you can sell an itinerary, and that is what is in creative itinerary. You prepare and you can sell these itineraries to the like-minded people. That the bike rider clubs nowadays, some company in India, one of our student only, he had taken people on car from Delhi to Paris. There's a company which does that from car. You'll be crossing around 18 to 20 countries, getting their visa done and everything. This is the special itineraries. These are the creative itineraries, and people have money. They want in creative thing. People doesn't want there is a lot of people who want in creative itineraries, and that is how this SIT helps in tourism business. So SIT can develop new employment opportunities and generate extra income for people also. This is how SIT is there. Now, if you talk about different kinds of special interest tourism, now as I already told you, the list is very long. You whatsoever you think in your mind, and that is basically and special interest tourism. People travel to a lot of places just to visit beach. That is a special interest. Probably somebody, they travel to a destination just to visit a desert. Somebody traveled to a destination for hop on hop off. Oh, what you call it, hop on hop off. I already told you, hitchhiking is there, photography tours are there, border tourism is there, camping is there, cycle tours are there. So the list is very long, my dear friends. So we'll be discussing about few things. The first one is the ecotourism. Now, what is ecotourism? Ecotourism is an low impact tourism which involve visit to a fragile, pristine, or relatively undisturbed natural areas. I'll give you a few examples of ecotourism sites. One of the best example of ecotourism style is Jotsoma village. This village is in Kohima, northeast in India, Jotsoma village. So Jotsoma village is a popular ecotourism destination in northeastern India. This particular photograph is from Mahal. It's a place in Dang district in Gujarat. It's a Mahal ecotourism campsite. Near to this mahal, you have Padam Dungri ecotourism campsite, Padam Dungri. So you have in Sikkim, you have an ecotourism site called Pastanga village, Pastanga, very close to Sikkim. So you have Pastanga. In Madhya Pradesh, you have Panchmani. The list is endless actually. Every state has got some sites, and there are a lot of people who are only interested in these ecotourism sites. There would be a lot of people, or unke liye ecotourism hi hai. So that is an important thing. Now, apart from this, you have a culinary or a gastronomy tourism. This is again a special interest tourism. Not everybody is interested in culinary or gastro tourism. This particular photograph you can see is Gurdasram Jalebi Wala. This is almost more than 100 years old shop of jalebi, which is an important part of itinerary in Amritsar, Punjab. This is an important itinerary in Amritsar, Punjab. And this particular place is known as, is famous by Jalebi Wala Chowk. Chowk is what you call it, a roundabout actually. It's a Jalebi Wala Chowk. And these, there are the street food trails are also there. A lot of street food trails are there in India, which are very famous street food trails. The street food trails or trails of Delhi. It's very famous of Delhi, Agra, Jaipur, Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad is having a market which opens almost at 10 in the night and which will remain open up till 4 a.m. in the morning. So you have a lot of places like Jaipur, Kolkata also, Lucknow also, Hyderabad also. Hyderabad is very famous for that. Kolkata also, Kolkata street food, there are trails. And these are known as gastronomy tourism. People travel to a particular place just to taste the food and just to go for trails. And that is an important thing, my dear friends. Culinary tourism is a combination of travel and eating experience. It's both. You travel also, plus you eat. And you eat the local authentic food also. Not everybody is interested in the local cuisine. Probably you travel to a lot of destinations, आप वहाँ जाके भी standardization चाहते हैं. You'll search for a McDonald's restaurant. कि I know McDonald's or I know Pizza Hut, so I'll have my lunch or dinner with in Pizza Hut also, or McDonald's or Domino's. So they are standardization. But some people, they only travel and they eat the local cuisine, and that is there. And this is a photograph of, I already told you, Jalebi Wala Chowk of Amritsar. Now, another special interest tourism is a wildlife tourism. As I told you, in 1985, it's basically started with ecotourism and wildlife tourism. And people travel to places, people travel to a lot of jungles. This particular photograph is of Gir National Park. And people are traveling to visit and to see the Asiatic lion, or the natural habitat, the only natural habitat of the Asiatic lions is there. So people are traveling to particular this place. And even in India, there are a lot of jungles which are very much famous. If we talk about especially Madhya Pradesh, you have Painch, you have Bandhavgarh, and Rajasthan, which is very famous, Ranthambore, Jim Corbett in Uttarakhand. So the list is endless, and people, they travel to these particular places, these particular jungle, just for a wildlife tours. They are wildlife enthusiastic people. Likewise, Ranu ma'am, who probably she would be listening, she is a very much wildlife enthusiastic, and she knows the stories also of lions and tiger and tigers is also lions also. And the important thing is wildlife tourism kitna badh gaya hai. There's a case of machli. Probably most of you had heard about machli. Machli, M-A-C-H-A-L-I. That is the case of the most photographed tigress in the world. She is the most photographed. So though recently she died, two or 3 years back she died actually, and she is the most photographed tigress in the world from Ranthambore National Park. This is a classical example of how wildlife tourism has generated employment and revived the local economy also. And it's people are traveling to Ranthambore only to visit Machli. And this particular tigress Machli, she basically was a brand ambassador for Ranthambore, you can say. And till now, people are traveling to Ranthambore. They're visiting the places is because of Machli only, because this is the Machli has given rise to the tourism, and especially the special interest tourism. The next one, which is a little bit related with this only, is the adventure tourism. People go for adventure, and adventure is a very big term. You can go for a soft adventure also, and you can go for a hard adventure also. and the list is endless what comes under soft adventure and hard adventure, because in soft adventure again you have parts land based adventure, water based adventure, or air based adventure. Water or air, like with hot air ballooning is there, water is, you have even hard adventure also, white water rafting, kayaking is there, white water rafting is there, kayaking is there. Soft adventure is this also, there is a small trail, people are going on a trail, they are going for even bird watching also on a trail, or they're going for hiking also, wherein they'll be coming back in the evening. This photograph is of Binsar Wildlife Sanctuary. This is of Binsar Wildlife Sanctuary in Uttarakhand. Binsar Wildlife Sanctuary, where the people are going for hiking. Actually, they'll go to a particular place, and hard adventure involves reaching at a summit, whitewater rafting, rappelling, snorkeling, and soft adventure includes trekking, tenting, cycling, boating, etc. So all these things are related with the soft adventures also. And adventure tourism is basically to take part in physical challenges of outdoor activities. Tourists travel to a remote and exotic locations. Adventure tourism, we can say it can be conducted on land, water, and air, as I had already told you. Now, the next thing is, which is important, is the tribal or indigenous tourism. Not everybody is interested in tribal tourism. A lot of people won't be even knowing what is the headgear the people are having, what is this daw, if they are having a daw, or the headgear or the instrument is the people are having, or which particular tribe is this. Not all people would be understanding it. And that is what is a special interest. This particular photograph is of Itanagar. This is Itanagar, and this is the tribes. There are normally 27 tribes in Itanagar. Like there's the important tribes in Zero Valley is there, Apatani is there, Nishi tribe is there. So there are a lot of tribes. Nishi is there, Apatani tribes are there, and people are very much interested in visiting these tribes. And they are not only these tribes in Arunachal Pradesh or Northeast in India. Even people travel to Gujarat also. People travel to Rajasthan also for tribal tourism. People travel to Punjab also for tribal tourism. They wanted to see. In Gujarat, you have Tadvi are there, Rathwas are there, Tadvi is there, Rathwa tribe is there, Dang is there. In Rajasthan, you have Meghwals are there, Sansis are there. Punjab also, you have again Sansi people, and a lot of tribes are there. So people travel to these places. Likewise, the best examples as far as the country is concerned, we have Bastar. Bastar is the best example for tribal tourism, because Bastar in Chhattisgarh is famous for ethno-tourism destination with tribal art, music, dance, food, ethnic wear, weekly heart markets. You have Gonda tribe there, and Gonda and band also. So you have a lot of tribes and people. Not all people are interested in their food, the tribal food, what they have, or in their textiles also. Not everybody is interested. This is basically special interest tours, and those who are interested, they are ready to spend money also, because they love a particular type of music also. People travel for music and musical instrument. They want to record these music. They want to understand. People are doing PhDs on these things also. The folk dances, what they, the dances, what they have, the ethnic wear they have. So the art also, people have, tribal people have tribal arts are also there. Likewise, Warli art is very much famous nowadays, or the Gonda art is there. So there are a lot of arts also. The tribal tourism is again famous. Now, next is the rural tourism. Rural tourism, again, probably Professor Sandeep Kulshesh, he had already told you about rural tourism yesterday. I was having a word with Ranu, तो आपने बहुत कुछ सीखा है, सर ने बहुत अच्छा बताया होगा आपको. बहुत सारे example हैं. This particular photograph is of Pastanga village. Pastanga, this is near Sikkim. So Pastanga village का photograph है ये, आप देख सकते हैं. This form of tourism is a country vacation where people travel to urban area, from urban areas to rural areas to experience the rural tourism. We have a lot of examples of rural tourism. इंडिया में बहुत सारे examples हैं. वो stage authenticity भी होता है कई बार, but we have a very good example is Darap village is there, which is near Pelling in Sikkim only. Darap is situated in Sikkim in the West District, and it's very close to Pelling in a natural setting. It's a high altitude. This beautiful village of Darap, it offers an authentic rural experience to the tourists through activities like milking the cows, gardening, interaction with the locals, processing butters and cheese, visit to traditional houses, basically the people, they are the limbo people there. So there is a chance to visit these limbo people, their house, how they prepare their food, the milking of the cows, and even participate in the agriculture activities also. They are the people, यहाँ पे बहुत सारा black cardamom बहुत होता है, जो black cardamom होता है. So they make people learn how they sow the cardamom, how they reap it, and almost everything related to their agriculture activity, and people can participate in these agriculture activities also. Rural tourism is one of that. Another important thing is the luxury trains. Now we have a lot of luxury trains running in India. We have Deccan Odyssey, which is a very good luxury train, or we have Royal Chariot also. Royal Chariot is there, which is an important luxury train. Or we have Rajasthan Royals or Palace on Wheels. And we have Buddha Circuit luxury trains also. We have Buddha Circuit luxury trains. So there are a lot of luxury trains in India, and there are some people, not everybody is interested in luxury trains because they're very costly. You'll be putting up in these trains, they are your food, your accommodation, both are in the trains only, and not everybody is interested in what you called room on wheels, but normally they call rotels, actually ROTELS. Not everybody is interested in putting up in rotels. Rotel means road hotels, hotels which are on roads. That means the moving hotels actually. So especially the rotels are there. So not everybody is interested in rotels also, but there are luxury train tours. This is the Queen of the Hills, Darjeeling. So this is not a luxury train, but it's once a time it was a luxury train. But these are the smaller trains, and which comes under the UNESCO World Heritage List also. These trains, so we have a lot of list is there when we have a lot of luxury trains. They are very costly for the tourists, but not everybody is interested. Their package is around 6 lakhs, 7 lakhs, for some around 20 days to 25 days too. So they are very luxurious trains, but still not everybody is interested, and that's why this is in the category of special interest tourism. Only people who are interested in special interested, they'll visit all these places, and they'll go for these days. Wellness and Ayush is again an important thing. It's not everybody who travels down to India is interested in Ayurveda, interested in Unani, Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and Homeopathy, AYUSS. We have Ministry of Ayush also. Ministry of Ayush, probably all people had heard about, and still, especially in this pandemic, everyone had heard about Ministry of Ayush. Ayush stands for A is Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and Homeopathy. So these are the wellness techniques which we have, or the wellness tours or medical tourism is there. So people are traveling. People are traveling to India, people are traveling to another parts of the globe, and especially for the medical treatment being done. People are traveling for medical treatment, and not everybody who is traveling down to a particular country is interested in medical treatment done, but people are traveling, and that is a special interest tourism for the people. People are traveling to a particular destination, to a particular place only, that only to learn yoga or only to have Ayurveda as in medicines. The people are traveling. So this is again an important thing, and traveling in search for upkeeping of health through physical, psychological, or spiritual activities is wellness tourism. Wellness is different from medical tourism, my dear friends. Medical means you have a problem and you wanted to recover from it, and you wanted an ailment for that. That is a medical. Medical travel is people are traveling to India for oncology treatment. People are traveling for heart transplantation, also for cardiac, basically the cardiac or the knee replacements also. Nowadays for lung replacement also, people are coming down to India for lungs replacement. Recently one operation being done in global hospital Chennai also for lung replacement in this pandemic only. So people are traveling for medical tourism also, and people are traveling for wellness also. They are good, they are fine, but they always want to be fit and fine. So they are traveling to a particular destination to learn yoga, and that is wellness tourism. Government of India is promoting wellness tourism in India very much through this Ministry of Ayush also. Now, again, another very interesting special interest site is the cemetery or the ancestry tourism. People are visiting war cemeteries. This is Kohima. Sorry. This is Kohima. and this is Kohima War Cemetery. The Kohima War in the World War which is very much famous, and this is the war cemeteries, the graves of the people who died in this war, and or the ancestry tourism. A lot of people, because at this particular time there are British soldiers also who are British origin people also, so their grandsons, their grandchildrens, they are traveling from all the way from different parts of the globe to this particular place just to visit the graves of their ancestors. So this is called ancestry tourism. Ancestry tourism. People travel to places for ancestry tourism. People travel to places for cemeteries also. We have a lot of cemeteries in India related to the World Wars also. Kohima cemetery is very famous. Then we have Imphal, Manipur, we have in Imphal one of the important cemeteries in Imphal also. We have a Morang also. Morang War is very famous. There is a cemetery in Morang also. In Pune also we have cemeteries. In Punjab also related with this Anglo-Sikh war was there. So we have a cemetery in Punjab also. So there are a lot of cemeteries and cemeteries are not only meant for mooring, but also to explore the graveyards of the people who have lived before us and understand the genealogy of the family also. Colonial cemeteries are there in Goa, which are very famous. Mumbai help foreign travelers to identify the cemeteries of their ancestors. There are a lot of people, even the government also, they help the people who are traveling to identify the cemeteries of their ancestors also. So cemetery tourism is again a very special interest tourism. Next is an architectural tourism, or we normally called it an archi-tourism also. Nowadays, a lot of people had started identifying it as archi-tourism. So the process of tourism that involves study of heritage buildings and their architectural styles, capturing their photos and interpreting their iconography is called archi-tourism. So you visit a particular site, this is Ganga Devdi in Bhavnagar in Gujarat. This particular is an archaeological site, and it's not only that the study of heritage building, and it's also there the architectural style, the study of architectural style, capturing their photos and interpreting the iconography also. Interpreting the icons also, or the iconography also, interpreting all iconography. India being the birthplace of major religions in India, in India we have the birthplace of Hinduism also, Jainism also, Buddhism also, and Sikhism also. These are the four religions basically which are, India is the birthplace of these religions, and we have produced marvelous architectural buildings in different styles also. Especially if we talk about religious styles, we have Nagara, Dravida, Vesra styles, and we have a very big scope of archi-tourism. And the people who ruled over India, especially we have colonial architecture buildings, or the Mughal architectural style buildings. So India is a paradise for a lot of people, especially for the architecture tourism. Even the architecture tourism related with the religious side, we have a lot of buildings related with, or temples related with Jains, Buddhism also, Hinduism also, Sikhs also, and Buddhism we have caves like Ajanta, Ellora, Kanheri caves. We have a lot of caves for people to study the architectural styles, and then different people, the Delhi Sultanate or the Tughlaqs and the Mughals or the Britishers, they had created a marvelous buildings in India over a period of time, and these buildings, they attract a lot of foreign tourists and a lot of tourists, with domestic tourists also, for the people to study tourism. Another important thing is stargazing tourism. We had already discussed about stargazing tourism, and it's basically, we call it an astro tourism also. It's astro tourism. This is in camping in the dry sky parks to watch the sky illuminated with the billions of stars. So in the hassles of city life, people are not able to see the astronomical things or the stars. So people are traveling to a particular place in the remote location or in villages, and just to gaze the stars. So stargazing is again a unique itinerary, and people are following it and people are going for it. That is stargazing. Vineyard tourism is again very famous in India, and this is Soma Vineyard, and this is from Nasik, Maharashtra, and Nasik is also known as the wine capital of India. Probably you all have heard about Sula Vineyards is there, Soma Vineyard is there. So this is the wine capital of India, where they are producing white wine also, pink wine also, and red wine also. So all three different types of wines they are producing there: red wine, pink wine, white wine. And vineyard tourism is basically visit to understand and learn the process of wine production. That is the vineyard is there, the wine production. So people travel to understand the process, that how wine is being produced. And along with this also, it's not only wine, the process, the wine testing is also being done. Wine testing is also being done, and importantly, people can purchase wine if they want from here. They can purchase the wines also. This is again a very important special interest tourism. Not everybody is interested in vineyard tours, because the thing is, it's a very special interest. A lot of people, if we talk about India as a country, they probably won't be consuming wine also, and they say we won't consume wine, so why should we go for vineyard tours, and why should we learn the process how wine is being produced, and why should we taste the wine also? So that's what is an important thing, is the special interest tours. Now AV tourism is there, or the birding tourism. People travel to a particular site, or people travel to a particular jungle or a wildlife area just to watch the birds, and that is what we call as AV tourism also. Now this particular photograph is of a tree pie. This bird is tree pie, which is a very friendly bird, human friendly bird. This was clicked from Ranthambore National Park. This was clicked in Ranthambore National Park. Tree pie is there, which is very friendly bird. And people travel to a lot of destinations. The tourists who are bird lovers and wanted to watch them travel to the destination where they can do bird watching. And in India, we can do bird watching in Binsar, which is very famous for bird watching. Uttarakhand, a lot of places and jungles in Uttarakhand, they're famous for bird watching. In Rajasthan, you have Kailwa Devi National Park, and especially in that particular national park, you have Ghana Bird Sanctuary. So Ghana Bird Sanctuary is there. Migrated birds comes here. That this particular sanctuary has got a lot of birds. You'll find a lot of birds near Bhuj also. There is a place called Mandvi. So in that Mandvi also, you'll find a lot of birds are there. People are visiting. There is a Flamingo City also in Bhuj also. So people travel to these particular places for all the or to watch all these birds also. Next is textile tours. In India, I'll be just be a bit fast because we are short of time. I'll try to finish within the next 4-5 minutes. And as far as the textile tours are concerned, people like places in India like Chanderi, Mahabaleshwar, Ajrakpur is a very important place. Ajrakpur is there. Nirona is there. Patan is there. Patola silk of Patan, Patola silk is there. And Chanderi, as I already told you, is very important. Kanchipuram skill is there. Gadwal is there. Bagru near Jaipur is there. Sanganer is there. So these all are the places which are very famous for textile tours. This is a photograph from Bujodi village in Bhuj, Bujodi. It's a craftsman village called known as Bujodi village. So this particular photograph is from there, and tourists who wants to understand weaving on handlooms, dyeing, tying, and block printing visit these places and experience the process of the original settings actually. So a lot of tourists, they visit these particular places and to learn this thing. And this is again a special interest tour. Another special interest tour is film tourism. Film tourism is basically visiting the places which become famous due to their appearance in movies, is called film tourism. Likewise, this particular place, you all people would be knowing that this is Pangong Lake. This is Pangong Lake, and this lake becomes famous after the movie Three Idiots. So people now normally wanted to visit that particular place which are being appeared in the movies. Like this particular place is being famous after the movie Three Idiots, and there are a lot of places in India which are famous because of the films, because a particular movie or a particular scene of a movie was shot there, and people started traveling to that particular place because they want to see that particular place. So this is film tourism, and not everybody is interested in these types of tourism. But still, there are a lot of travel agents, tour operators, they are preparing these types of unique itineraries, and they want that a lot of people, they want that the people should understand the concept, and they should go for these itineraries. Likewise, I had already discussed it with you, the frontline tourism or the border tourism. Not everybody is interested in seeing the borders of the country, but some people are very much interested. This is a photograph of Atari, which is Wagah border. This side is Pakistan, this side is India, and this is known as the border tourism or frontline tourism. There's a company which makes you stay a night in a tent near the borders also, so that at the night the people can experience the lighting or the fencing, and they can easily ask the people that I had spent a night on the Indo-Pakistan border, or the most controversial border of the world, one of the most controversial borders of the world. So India as a country is sharing border with a lot of international countries, and people are traveling to these particular countries, like India is sharing borders with Pakistan. So we have border tourism facilities in India, Pakistan, especially at Wagah border. There is another facilities at Hussainwala border, and in Hussainwala also in Firozpur district you have this flag lowering ceremony every day. It happens at Wagah also, it happens at Hussainwala also, it happens at Agartala also, India and this Bangladesh border, India-Bangladesh border at Agartala. They also have the same retreat ceremonies also happening there. So these are the border tourism. People who visit Northeast, they basically visit Nathula also. Nathula border, which is India-China border, Nathula Pass, they call it Nathula Pass. So India-China border, people visit Nepal, who visit to Darjeeling or Uttar Pradesh, they visit Nepal also. So India shares a border with India-Nepal border, India-China border, India-Pakistan, India-Bangladesh. We share borders with Bhutan. We share border with Myanmar also. So people travel to these places also, especially, and this is known as border tourism. And not everybody is interested in all these types of tourism, as I already told you. Another is an art and craft tourism. I won't be taking much of your time. And art and craft is a representation of local tradition, culture, and history. So art and craft naturally has an unique relationship with tourism. I'll give you some of the examples very fast. Surajkund Craft Fair of Haryana, which is very famous art and craft village of Raghurajpur in Odisha. Kutch region in Gujarat is again famous for this. Then there is a shopping tourism. There are a lot of places in India which are very famous for shopping. This is from Nirona village, or the Lekar art. The Lekar work is there. लाख का जो काम होता है तो लेकर वर्क है इन पे. So this is again and very famous. And India shopping tourism sites are Bapu Bazaar or Jowri Bazaar of Jaipur, Maharaja Bazaar or Kokar Bazaar in Srinagar, Connaught Place, Janpat Market in Delhi. So a lot of tourists, and nowadays in especially in itineraries also, there is one day fixed for shopping only, or 2 days, and some people they travel to a particular destination only for shopping, and that is what shopping tourism. In weekend you will find Calcutta streets are full of Bangladeshi people, because in weekends Bangladeshi people they travel to Calcutta for shopping only. And shopping is now influencing the choice of destination of the traveler. People, as they want to travel to a particular destination where they can have a scenic day, so people are now much interested in going to a place where they can shop also. Another important is the dark tourism sites. Dark tourism is basically a site which is related with the travel to the sites which are in some way connected to the death, suffering, battle, or disaster. This is in Amritsar, Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar. And the last one I'll just finish off now, and this is what is the photography tours. People travel for photography, and photography tours are meant for photographers who wish to capture the moments related to the communities, culture, heritage, art, architecture, spiritually, wildlife, nature, anything. So that is what is photography tours. A lot of people are interested in photography tours also. I'm not as young as you guys are, and I'll just show on my camera. So I'm not as young as you guys are, but still I'm also a very much photograph enthusiastic person, and almost all the, not almost all the photographs which I had shown to you are all clicked by me. These all photographs which I had shown you of all different types of tourism, these all photographs, I had clicked all these photographs in different settings and visiting different places. So photography tourism is again a very important thing. So I'll stop sharing my screen now. And Ranu, it's over to you because you had asked me to finish my lecture within 50 minutes. I've taken 53 minutes, I guess, 54. So any questions?
Yes, sir, there are a good number of questions. If you can open your chat box, there are a good number of questions that are asked.
Okay. You tell me because they are popping up. You just
I'll share.
yeah, thank you.
One of the question is there any organization for adventure tourism?
Yeah, what do you say? Is there any
organization for adventure tourism? Ujjwal Vats has asked this question.
Okay, dear student, for adventure tourism, we have a lot of organization. In India, we have Indian Mountaineering Institutes also. We have a lot of adventure institutes, especially of Government of India. We have when we take our students, especially MBA students, to Manali also, and we have for skiing also. We have Indian Institute of Mountaineering and Skiing in Gulmarg also. IITM also had got for water-based adventure. We have NIWS National Institute of Water Sports in Goa also. We have a Mountaineering Institute in Darjeeling also. So we have a lot of adventure tourism institutes in the country, which are especially pertaining to hard adventures. For soft adventures like cycling are there. There are short training camps are there. Short-term training camps are being organized there. Another question which I can see is what about caravan tourism? Please elaborate something about this. Caravan tourism, you all people has watched the movie Swadesh of Shah Rukh Khan. He has got a caravan where there is people. This is also an example of rotel, but that means you are staying in a particular vehicle, you are traveling in the same vehicle, and you're visiting places in the same vehicle. Caravan tourism is again a special interest tourism. Government of Madhya Pradesh State Tourism Development Corporation, they had started with caravan tours. They had developed 4 vehicles of Force company or tempo travelers of by Force, and they had converted into caravans, and they are giving these caravanaries to the tourist. And whosoever is interested, they can take these caravanaries and they can travel within Madhya Pradesh only. So this is again in special interest tours. And in Delhi, if you want for different manufactured, like for Mercedes also, you can find a lot of travel agents. They are the caravans are available. You can have these caravans and you can travel. You can drive it on your own. That is also facilities being given by the private organization. Or if you want a driver for your caravan, that is also available. So we have caravan tours also, and this is a special interest tourism. It's a bit on a costlier side, but not everybody is interested in these caravan tours. But still, it's there. Ranu, any other questions?
So,
somebody is asking me which camera should I buy. You can personally message me. We'll discuss about your budget also, and then we can finalize it. And what about your experiences there? You can personally ping me about that, and we can discuss on that personally. Because on an official platform, I can't name any of the brand. Actually, I'm not a brand ambassador for a thing, so I won't be naming any brand. And somebody is asking for a job opportunities, I guess. Missed that question, sorry. What about caravan tourism? Ranu, you were saying something, some question, please tell me.
So good number of questions are there, but still. One of the questions that is here, so we have thank yous being raised. So there are so many thank you, I'm unable to search for a question here. Is there any organization that offers job for culinary tourism? Is there any organization that offers job for culinary tourism?
We have Indian Culinary Institute of Ministry of Tourism, Government of India only. We share a common walls. IITM Noida Center shares a common walls with the Indian Culinary Institute. We have 2 culinary institute in India. That is, one is in Noida and the other one is Tirumala. That Tirumala temple is there. The another one is there. So in Andhra Pradesh, we have 2 culinary institutes in the country, and lot of hotels actually they require professionals, culinary professionals, especially the 5-star resorts owners and the hotels like Taj Hotel, Oberoi, Radissons. They require people, especially who are expert in culinary art. So you can search for a job, but before that you need to be an expert for culinary actually. Ranu, are we short of time or can we?
So we still have 2 minutes.
Tell me.
What are the job opportunities for BBA in special interest tourism?
As I told you in my first slide only, you just write tourism and have a blank there. Whatsoever it is, there are a lot of companies are there which are organizing tours only for special interest tourism. There are a lot of companies which are only adventure tourism companies are there. So there is a host of opportunities, my dear friends, host of opportunities. If you are expert in something, even if in photography an expert, there are a lot of companies which will hire you. If you are in biking expert, bike expert, there are a lot of bike expedition companies which will hire you. If you are an expert in mountaineering, there are a lot of companies will if you are expert in textile also, so there are a lot of companies which organize only textile tours in countries. So they require professional people who understand textiles. If you are expert in tribal also, there are a lot of companies who only organize tribal tours. But my dear friends, you need to develop one of your expertise actually. You can't say that I want to have a job in special interest tourism. You have to develop your expertise, maybe in tribal tourism, maybe in adventure, maybe in textile, maybe in kites, maybe in anything, maybe in bike also. आप किसी भी एक जगह में अपना अगर expertise develop कर लेंगे, so there are companies which will hire you, which will take you, and which will give you a good amount of money also. Ranu, any other question which you can
Sir,
take?
maybe we are out of time now.
So thank you. Thanks for being such a nice audience to me, all of you. And thanks for your appreciation. I'm just going through your comments also. Thanks a lot, my dear friends.
So, throughout your lecture, you were saying that about the niche tourism things. You were saying that not many people are interested in the same. But what I'm believing is reading the chat and understanding what students are saying and writing, that you have created good number of people interested in special interest tourism for sure. Yes. Thank you so much, sir. We'll sign off now. We have to start our next class.
Sure.
Thank you so much. And let's hope these students get to hear you another time again.
Definitely. I'd love to do that. Thank you, Ranu. Thanks for being such a nice host. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Students, I request you to join the next lecture, please.